So in Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he wrote, seek first to understand and then to be understood. And I absolutely love this quote. And I love it because so much because I'm a salesperson, a coach, a trainer, and as a person, because asking questions and really listening with intent, listening to understand what the other person is saying before we offer a solution is the foundation of a customer-centric process. Now, I have the privilege of working with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business owners in many different industries. My clients are passionate about the products that they make and the services that they provide. However, they get stuck when it comes to having those sales conversations, and that's preventing them from really sharing their brilliance with their prospects, clients in the world, and from growing their businesses to the levels that they desire. So it's through my sales training programs and coaching programs that I really empower my clients to become competent, confident, and successful sales consultants and trusted advisors. So when you're interviewing for a job, and this is why I thought it was very important to be here tonight, because you are actually selling yourself. You are the product. You need to know how to present yourself and be able to talk about all the benefits that you bring to the organization that you're going to work with. Learning how to develop that rapport, to communicate between you and that interviewer is really that first critical step. And it's essential to start with a conversation. So even in sales, we tell people not to really go in as a sales pitch. You want to go in and have a conversation. So I'm going to share with you some sales techniques that I have been using to really empower my clients to succeed. And so that you'll be able to start having those productive conversations, build rapport, trust, and success in your next job interview. Or instead of even just thinking of just interviewing, think about using these techniques when you go to networking events, or you're at a meeting and looking to actually be promoted. These are going to be steps and techniques that you're going to be able to use. And when you put them into place, you're going to build your confidence. It's going to empower you with the tools and techniques so you can start showing up authentically and really start getting your interviews to start them off with conversations. Because we know sometimes interviews can feel a little bit like an inquisition instead of an interview. So you want that conversation to flow a little bit easier. You want to learn how to, I'm going to really show you, but you want that conversation to really engage the person or the people that you're with, especially with an interviewer. So how do you find out what's important to them? Build trust. Know what questions you should be asking when you show up for your interview. And then when and how to ask for that next step. Now, all these techniques were pretty much foreign to me at one time, but I know that they work because I was once a very naive young girl at my very first sales job. I had little or no understanding of what sales was. I was 24 years old. I was just hired as a sales manager at the Sheraton Ferncroft, about 20 miles outside of Boston. On my very first day of work, I got a full tour of the hotel. And this was a beautiful hotel. They had just put in, I don't know, about $8 or $10 million. It was beautiful. They showed me the golf courses, the tennis courts, and all the meeting space in the guest rooms. And then they walked me into my office and said, Rhonda, there's your desk. There's your phone. There's your stack of files. Good luck. And they left me there. I had absolutely no training. Fortunately, my background is in hotels and I had worked behind the front desk, so I knew how to at least talk to people. So I did what I thought I needed to do. I hopped on the phones and I started making phone calls. And I went out and started meeting with people. I set up meetings and I was winning business too. It wasn't like I wasn't successful some of the time. I was I was actually meeting some of my goals and I was winning some business and we would celebrate. But what was also happening is I was starting to lose business as well. And I didn't know why. And I was getting frustrated and I was starting to lose my confidence. And it wasn't until a couple of years later that I actually changed hotel jobs, that they put me through multiple different types of sales training programs. And that's when all the lights went on. I realized that we are not born knowing how to sell. Sales is a skill. And it's a skill that needs to be learned. And when you practice it and incorporate it into your everyday, life and start to build on those skills, you can master them as well. So once I learned these skills, my conversations with my clients became so different. They became authentic. I was using my own voice. It felt great. I got my confidence back. I was building those wonderful relationships with my clients. And because the relationships had changed, and I'm going to share those tips on how that changed, they were starting to send me business. So now I was becoming successful and developing these incredible relationships. And then I want to share with you is because what happened at that point, I also started using these sales techniques that I learned in sales to start landing my next job and the next one and starting to move up in my career. Because these techniques are going to teach you how to build relationships. And I almost would like to take the word sales out of what I do. I truly believe what I'm going to show you tonight is about developing relationships with people. It's about being genuinely curious, asking good questions, listening with intent, and wanting to help them to succeed. And when you're interviewing, if you think about the interviewer as the client, they're the ones that you want to build that relationship with. They're there to try to find the right person to fill that job, and it just might be you. So when you use these same skills to go out and interview, you're going to be able to go out and sell yourself in the interview.